Okay, let's unpack this. We've been watching AI move from, the lab to the desktop for a while now.
For sure.
But today, we're really charting its leap into these highly regulated, absolutely mission-critical sectors.
Right.
This is episode 380 of the AI Brief, and we have a slate of developments that show, just how fast the ground is shifting under our feet.
Exactly. We're moving past all the speculation and into legally mandated real-world deployments. This stuff redefines the whole risk-reward ratio for the industry and, more importantly, for you, the consumer.
So for our deep dive today, we're focusing on three pretty seismic shifts. First, OpenAI's new personalized health experience.
A big one.
Then, this legal and regulatory breakthrough in Utah that allows an AI to renew prescriptions autonomously.
Yeah, that one is huge.
And finally, Lenovo's high-stakes entry into ambient intelligence with their new assistant, Kira. After that, we'll hit our global AI roundup and then spotlight a few trending tools you should know about.
Okay, let's jump right in. Let's start with that move into the deeply sensitive world of personal health data.
Starting with what feels like the biggest vertical shift of the day, OpenAI's launch of ChatGPT Health. This is a new, dedicated, and strictly private experience.
Right.
And it's designed to shatter the limits of that, generic health advice by letting you pull in your own medical records and fitness app data. This is massive.
It is, because until now, using a general model for medical advice was always a liability. The model just had to give these generalized, pretty conservative responses.
Lacked any real nuance.
Exactly. But now they're integrating with key platforms like Apple Health, MyFitnessPal, Peloton. The real game changer here, though, is the Be-Well integration.
What does that do?
So that allows users in the U.S. to pull in actual medical records directly from their healthcare providers.
Wow. Okay, so that just completely changes the conversation. You go from, I have a symptom, what could it be, to something like, given my history of migraines and my last blood work from June and, my fitness app shows I'm sleeping terribly, what should I look for?
Right. And how does this medication interact with my diet? The context is suddenly everything. It moves the AI from a search engine to a truly personalized health co-pilot.
But that level of personalization, it must come with some intense scrutiny on privacy and security.
Oh, for sure. They're trying to address this head-on with two key features. First, stronger encryption, which is, standard but essential.
Just second.
Second, and this is the important one, is isolated memory for these health chats. It means those specific, sensitive conversations are quarantined. They live in a silo.
And OpenAI commits not to use that data to train future models.
That's the promise. And it's a non-negotiable one if they want anyone to actually adopt this. The demand is there. We know that. OpenAI says over 40 million people already use ChatGPT for health queries every day.
For things like checking symptoms or, trying to figure out confusing insurance paperwork.
Exactly. So this new, validated, and secure offering just captures that existing demand and validates it with clinical-grade context. It's a really strategic move.
It definitely feels like AI is gaining some serious new medical powers here.
Speaking of high stakes, let's talk about that stunning regulatory first coming out of Utah.
Okay.
The state has legally sanctioned an AI system to autonomously approve prescription refills. This isn't just advice.
It's a decision.
It's a decision-making system. They're partnering with a startup called Doctronic, specifically for patients with chronic conditions.
This feels like the moment AI crosses that line from just providing information to having, actual legal medical authority.
It is. Utah is essentially creating a new regulatory pathway for automated care. The idea isn't to replace doctors, but to streamline the highly repetitive task of routine refills for stable conditions.
Which is a huge bureaucratic bottleneck, right?
A massive one.
Yeah.
Now, the scope covers 191 drugs. That sounds like a lot, but it's very carefully defined. We're talking about maintenance meds.
So things like blood pressure treatments, birth control, standard SSRIs.
The low variance, high volume stuff that just eats up so much time for doctors and their staff.
But I assume there are pretty clear limits on what the AI can handle alone.
Absolutely. Pain management, ADHD treatments, any injectables, all strictly off limits for the autonomous system.
Why those specifically?
Because those categories require frequent, subjective clinical judgment, or they carry a high risk of abuse or misuse. This system is only for tasks where the decision criteria are incredibly well established.
And if there's any deviation?
Any deviation at all in a patient's history, any flag, and it kicks the case right back to a human. It's a filter, not a replacement for complex clinical judgment.
And how reliable is it? I mean, going from 99% accuracy in a test to real-world deployment is a huge leap of faith for people.
It is. So when they tested the AI against 500 historical cases, its decisions aligned with human doctors 99% of the time. And again, that safety net is strong. Any edge case is instantly rerouted to a human physician.
What about the cost? The economics of this must be wild.
Wildly disruptive. Doctronic charges just $4 per refill.
$4.
$4. Compare that to the admin costs, the copay, the half hour you spend on hold with a doctor's office. The efficiency gain is the real story.
And other states must be watching this very closely.
Oh yeah, Texas, Arizona, and Missouri are already showing deep interest. Doctronic predicts maybe a dozen states could adopt this system by 2026. This isn't just a Utah experiment, it's a blueprint for scaling automated healthcare.
Okay, that completely redefines the landscape. Now let's pivot from that to the hardware battlefield, where Lenovo just fired a huge shot at CES.
Right, with Kira, their new system-level AI assistant. This is their big play for what they're calling personal ambient intelligence.
Ambient intelligence, the idea that the AI sort of lives in the environment around you, not just trapped in a single app.
Exactly. Kira is designed to maintain context as you move between your Lenovo PC and your Motorola phone. If you start a task on your laptop, the AI should be able to just seamlessly follow you when you switch devices.
And what's under the hood? What's powering this?
What's interesting is it's not a single model. Kira is a coalition. It uses cloud models from Microsoft and OpenAI. It uses Stability AI for image generation. And it has deep integrations with tools like Notion and Perplexity.
So it's a multi-model strategy.
A multi-model strategy designed for specific tasks. And the core function is that it runs in the background, actively tracking your work. If you're drafting a sales pitch on your PC and then grab your phone for a meeting, Kira can proactively surface those files or offer to compose the rest of a message in your personal style.
Okay, that idea of it actively tracking user work, that's the key. But it also, it raises some flags.
It's the trade-off. To be truly proactive and helpful, it needs deep system-level access. Lenovo is betting that the productivity gains like live meeting notes with translation or quick recaps will outweigh those privacy concerns for their corporate users.
And their distribution advantage here is just enormous.
It's the biggest factor in this assistant war. Lenovo ships more PCs globally than anyone else. Kira gets a massive built-in audience the moment they turn on their new hardware.
But haven't we seen this play before? I mean, Microsoft has Copilot woven into everything. We have Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant. Is Kira really different, or is it just another assistant?
That is the essential question. Distribution gets you a first look, but utility wins the long game. Kira has to be demonstrably better at that cross-device context management than the big players. If it's not, that initial advantage will just evaporate.
A powerful challenge for them to overcome. All right, let's shift our gaze now and slow the pace down just a bit to look at the broader landscape, the financial and geopolitical moves shaping AI today.
Let's start with the capital. Just the staggering amount of money flowing into these foundational models. It tells you everything about market belief.
So Anthropic is reportedly making a mind-boggling leap in valuation. The Wall Street Journal says they're trying to raise $10 billion at a $350 billion valuation.
It's a number that's hard to comprehend. Just back in September, their last raise valued them at $13 billion. If they hit this $350 billion figure, it means the market believes their long-term value has increased by nearly 30 times.
In just a few months.
In a few months. It just underscores this frantic faith that VCs have in a few core model developers winning the entire market.
Shifting to the global supply chain, it seems China is signaling a major domestic strategy shift on chips. Reports from The Information say that officials are asking tech companies to temporarily halt new orders for NVIDIA H200 chips.
Well, this really shows how geopolitical tensions are having direct, immediate impacts on procurement. By pausing high-end NVIDIA imports, the government is essentially creating forced market share for their own domestic chip manufacturers. It's about national self-sufficiency.
And in the world of finance, we're seeing a massive commitment to internal AI adoption at JP Morgan. They've launched something called Proxy IQ.
Right, an entirely in-house AI platform. And it now handles proxy shareholder voting in the U.S. across its $7 trillion asset management division.
$7 trillion? That's not a small pilot project.
Not at all. Proxy voting involves massive data processing and complex legal documents. Deploying an AI for a core fiduciary function at that scale is a huge vote of confidence in AI handling high-level regulatory compliance.
Now, for a bit of a counterpoint on consumer appetite, this time from the hardware side, Kevin Terwilliger, Dell's product head, indicated that their data shows people are not currently buying new PCs primarily because of AI features.
And that gives us some really crucial grounded context for that Lenovo story. While the industry is pushing AI PCs, Dell is recognizing that for the average consumer, the buying triggers are still the traditional ones: price, speed, battery life. They're pivoting away from AI-first marketing.
And finally, a legal challenge seems to be emerging for Amazon. It's around their Buy For Me AI shopping agent.
Yes. Retailers are claiming their product listings and visuals were scraped and then lifted by this Amazon AI on their platform without permission.
Which tests that very blurry line between product aggregation and intellectual property infringement.
Exactly. These initial legal skirmishes are going to define the licensing rules for commercial AI tools, especially in retail, where image rights are fiercely protected.
Okay, let's wrap up with a look at a few trending tools that are proving genuinely useful for productivity right now.
The first one is a reminder that the big news often becomes a trending tool: ChatGPT Health. Its appeal is clear. It offers personalized, data-aware health conversations, moving way beyond simple web searches.
Right, for the person who wants synthesis, not just a list of links. Then in the visual world, a tool called Masonry is seeing huge adoption. It's not a new image model.
No, it's a platform. A centralized platform for creating and refining visuals using every major AI model, Midjourney, DLE, Stability, all in one place.
And it solves the fragmentation problem for creative professionals.
Precisely. Instead of managing multiple workflows, you can test prompts across all of them at once to see what gives you the best output.
And for anyone just overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information, there's Dirac.
Dirac is all about efficiency. It uses AI to give you a 30-second daily summary of all the key updates relevant to your industry. It turns content consumption into a hyper-efficient task.
We should also mention Invoice. This is a chat interface designed for one thing: administrative task automation. You just tell the AI what you did and who the client is.
And it creates a professional, ready-to-send invoice in seconds. It's a perfect vertical tool. It does one thing, but it does it perfectly, saving freelancers and small business owners a ton of hassle.
That concludes our deep dive for today. We covered some critical ground, particularly the willingness of regulators and major corporations to grant autonomous decision-making power to AI systems.
Yeah, whether that's approving prescriptions in Utah or running $7 trillion in shareholder voting at JP Morgan.
The common thread here seems to be that AI is no longer just a helper.
It's rapidly becoming an executive decision engine in our most important sectors: medicine, finance, and personal intelligence.
The power shift is undeniable, and the implications are really just beginning to unfold. I mean, if AI is now legally allowed to approve routine prescriptions for chronic conditions, what's the next logical step?
That raises a serious question for the future of medicine. How long until we see the first full AI diagnostic tool approved by the FDA that actually challenges human doctors on complex, non-routine conditions, forcing a complete overhaul of how we even define medical judgment?
We hope this deep dive helps you understand the magnitude of these shifts. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Brief. Please make sure to follow the show and share it with someone who also needs this quick, essential update.
See you in the next deep dive.